Here is a spreadsheet with some randomized data, no country names, just to show you what a bubble plot would look like and to show you how to sort the data and why it's important to sort the data. Let's first start with why it's important to sort the data. I'm going to ask you to label each data point. In order to do that, you need to select the data points. You can see I'm selecting these data points because those 4 circles are around the outside, and I can select that big circle and I can select that big circle. But you see there's some small circles behind the big circle. I can't select those. They're out of sight. And whether it's in front or behind depends on when it was plotted or where it is in the plot list. So if I make all the countries that make the biggest circles, which means the biggest populations, if I make them first in the list, they're plotted first, and then the smaller countries are plotted on top of them. And then I can actually select those symbols. Hopefully that makes sense, but what you want to do is once you're all done with your table, okay, you select the whole table, and then you're going to sort the table based on population. And the way I can do that is to go up here to sort, which is under the data menu, and choose population if it's indicated, or column F otherwise if it doesn't tell you the label of the column. And I want to sort from largest to smallest. Now watch what happens to the plot when I do this. So the biggest population's at the top, the smallest population's at the bottom, and this is all randomized data, so that none of this data is actually your data. It's just 10 random countries. But you can see all of these symbols have red borders on them, and these small symbols are on the top of the big symbols, so I can actually select the small symbols, and you'll be wanting to select those small symbols. Let's get rid of this line. Select those small symbols. Your plot will look different than this because it's different data, but you can select those small symbols and then label them. So for instance, in order to add the data label and get the right country name. The other thing is it does actually help to have borders that are different color than the fill for the symbols, and that's not the default. The default is for them to be the same color. So let me show you how to choose a different color for the border. So if you double click, oops, first let's click off of the symbols. You're not selecting any now. You haven't selected any symbols. Double click on the symbols and you see that all of the symbols are chosen, and we got the format data series column to come up. Click on the paint bucket and choose border. Choose solid line. Well, it was automatic, which is, I guess maybe it's a black border, but it's really hard to see. So what we're going to do is choose solid line, and I would choose something significantly different color than what your fill is. So I chose red, and doing that, then you can see the red is on here, and you can clearly see that these small symbols are plotting on top of the large symbols. Hopefully that helps.